Namaste, Sapailai. Hello, everyone. Maybe you were thinking like where Pradeep is. Start of the video. Uh, Today, I'm just walking around. I'm not using my camera, GoPro, and all that, but I'm doing this video from my phone just because I wanted to make this video from a long time, and then I was like, oh, I don't have time, I'll make it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. So I thought like maybe why not just make a quick one with my phone, just because I want to share the information. What I'm doing today is uh, I guess if you're watching this video, you know that I'm in Australia now. uh, I'm doing my masters of social work here at the Monash University. My campus is Caulfield campus. So I thought I would just make a video about my experience studying Masters of Social Work here at Monash. I did my Bachelor's of Social Work from Kadambari Memorial College of Science and Management. That's what it was called back then, or maybe some of you might know it as Nepal School of Social Work. Then I studied Masters in Conflict, Peace and Development Studies from Tribhuvan University. So now I'm here to do another Masters of Social Work, and I get few questions like how is it, can we afford it, like what happens at the Australian universities, and so on. And because if you are a Nepali thinking of coming to Australia, maybe you are a member of Journey to Australia visa or something like that page, and I see a few questions there as well about social work, studying social work in Australia. So I thought, well, just make a random video. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I do not or didn't work in any of the education consultancies, so I will not be able to give that kind of views from that perspective. But what I'll be doing is like what I did before I applied, or when I applied, and what was the process, and like what's going on, like the fee structures, the academic structure, in the sense like how is the education system different than Nepal. So yeah, I'll see. I do not have any like themes and all to talk about, but I suppose I'll just start like randomly start talking about it, and then like as I go through, I'll have uh, ideas and topics to talk about. But yeah, I just want to quickly show you the view here. Oh, I can't turn my camera now. That's, well, I wanted to show the view, but yeah, look at this view. It's like nice weather here, so I was like, just let's go out, enjoy the weather. And that's where we play football. If you watch the football video vlog that I made, yeah. But yeah, to start with, few things before applying. Please check out the university websites, the curriculum, the structure, the fee structure, and all that. Just don't only depend on what the consultancies say. I'm not saying that they will say wrong or like give you false information, but it is always good to check for yourself, get more information, that kind of stuff. Like I have seen people are like, if you ask them like what are you doing, and for example they will be like, yeah, I'm applying for Australia to go to study, and they don't know, like they just know the name of the college, but they don't know the structure and all. The only time they look at the structure, the curriculum and all that is when they need to write the statement of purpose, because they have to give the details and like say that I'll choose this electives and all that. So it's always good to have that information with you. So get as much information as possible from consultancies. It's free, so go visit as many educational consultancies as possible. Tally that information. Internet, you get it everywhere in Nepal. as well, and then just check if you have the right information or not. So what I'm saying here is, don't just don't just like trust or believe in what people say, but rather go and check for yourself. uh, that will come really handy. The other one is the bank loan process. So this is something that I will talk from my own experience. I'm just looking at the view back here, kids playing. But yeah, maybe I'll just sit here and then talk for a bit, and then again start walking. So yeah, going back to the financial aspect. So what I did was I took a bank loan, uh, educational loan. So what happened in my case, maybe this would be something for you to learn and not repeat the mistake that I did. um, I I was I was trying to apply to one university in Australia, and so that university would accept the educational loan from that XYZ bank. Um, so I was like, yeah, I'll just apply to that university and get the GTA done and get the visa, and everything will be okay. So I just went ahead up went ahead to apply the educational loan in from that particular bank in Nepal. Then what happened is that university rejected my GTE. Yep. So one university rejected my GTE. I was not happy with that interview anyway. But that lady was like, "Oh, you have already worked in like a good position in Nepal. Like you have had a lot of experience. So we have got and your age as well, and we have got a bit of concern in these 3 4 aspects." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like you have worked in a good position doesn't mean that you don't want to go back to study and all." But that's a different story. So what then the problem comes, because I had to apply to a different university, but that university didn't accept the loan, the pre-approved loan that I had already done in Nepal. That was a big headache. Like, so I don't know, I'm getting confused, but it was really a headache in terms of like, now because of that bank loan I had to look for other universities that would accept that particular bank, because I didn't go with those big names like Nabil and it is Standard Charter. Yeah, like not that ones, the other ones. So that was the problem. So what I would suggest is go with the big ones, just because you will get those a bigger options, like a bigger options to choose from a pool. So if you, for example, if I had from Nobel Bank, let's say, then my other universities would also accept that, and I would not have problem, or at least I could have chosen from a lot of universities. So that's one thing, because if you don't do that you will have limited options, and you might be, because of that you might end up going to a expensive university, just because like you have already got a pre-approved bank loan, you have already invested like 50 60,000 in uh, doing that, completing that process and all that. So you don't want to change, because again it will take a month to change the educational bank loan, the banks take time and all that. So you will get uh, few options. That's what I was trying to say. uh, so I would suggest, even if it's a bit expensive than others, I don't know how expensive are there or if they are cheaper. I know for sure that they take a bit longer time, but I would suggest to do that if possible. And the another thing is, in regards to PTE or IELTS, uh, go and check the university websites, because not all the universities require the same level of English. Because like for example, all of the a few universities needed each band 7 in IELTS for social work, masters of social work. But as in Monash didn't need that. I think one of the bands could be 6.5. So please find it for yourself and see what works for you. But also, like from my experience in Nepal, it's kind of like when it comes to PTE and IELTS, I have seen like guys and girls is like they take it very light, like. But what I suggest to you is like that is the most important thing at that moment. Like if you don't have a good IELTS or PTE scores, then your dream or whatever you have been thinking of is like, I'll go to Australia, 2 years study, then you get a visa to work 2 years, and then I don't know, like if you're interested permanent residency and all that. That all depends on that one test. So please make sure that you dedicate your time and practice it a lot, rather than spending like more money for the next exam. Take a bit longer time, practice it, and then get the desired score in one shot. Like don't take it loose, you know what I mean? You lose money. So think about it. And while talking about IELTS, yes, the another thing, this is something that I didn't know actually. Like uh, I knew but I was not sure. But if you want to study masters of social work, and for example like the Monash University where I'm at accepts IELTS less than sorry, I'm just like kids playing here, so I go getting disturbed, so I'll just go around. So like Monash accepts your IELTS score if you have in one of the bands, I don't know which one, but like even if you have like 6.5, they accept. But the problem is, if you actually want to work as a social worker in Australia, you will have to get yourself registered with the Australian Associations of School of Social Work, AASW. So I can never remember that. Well, that's bad because I am a social work student. I need to do that. Remember that. Associations, Australian Association of Schools of Social Work. Social workers. Sorry, not Australian Association of Social Workers. Yeah, I think so. AASW. Yeah, whatever. But they need 7 each band to register you as a social worker once you have completed a course. So if you are here in Australia to study Master of Social Work and you do not have each band 7, then you will not be able to register yourself in AASSW with ASSW just because you don't have enough score. So make sure you aim to get that 7 each band in IELTS, and then you are pretty much set for it. On the other note, it's crazy. Yeah, this is important. So if you want to apply for a permanent residency here after completion of the course, you work, whatever, they accept PTE for permanent residency. But to register yourself in the association, the AASW, they only accept IELTS. So if you have PTE and you are thinking that, oh, I've got each band in PTE, that gives me 20 points for PR, and then that is obviously like eight each band for IELTS, so I can also register with the ASSW. That's wrong. So AASW doesn't accept PTE, so they need IELTS. So if you're thinking of uh, coming to Australia for social work, then I would suggest do PTE, because even if you do do IELTS, because even if you do PTE now, you'll have to give IELTS again to get yourself registered with ASW. So that is important. Now what should I talk about? Fee structure. It's expensive, obviously, every one of you know it. So what I'm paying now at Monash is 32,000 Australian dollars per year. Yeah, it's that expensive. Um, I actually researched a lot before I applied, just to see if I get cheaper universities and all that. But there are some cheaper universities, like for example, Federation University is kind of like cheaper. I think it's 25,000 per year, so it's almost like 7,000 cheaper than what I'm paying. And I think there is another one called ACAP in Sydney. I don't know how much is the fee. I think it was 24, 25, but please don't take it as the truth. Go and find yourself. But what I'm saying is, uh, it starts from at least 24, 25, and then it goes up to 32, 34. and all that, depending on the universities. So it's expensive. And so how do you pay it? Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I, I paid the whole year fee. Well, I'll be paying the whole year fee from my education loan, just because don't accept yourself to work here and pay the second semester fee, man. No, there's no way. Like, even if you're lucky, I would say there's no way. So if you decide to pay 1 year fee from back home, then you don't have to get stressed out and all. You have got 1 year to manage the fees for another semester at least, and then another semester. But if you just pay the first semester and then decide, and then you think that you'll gonna come here, work, and then pay for second semester, I would say it's 99% not possible. Like, I know there are some people who do it, but please, like, don't take that 1% of example and like be overwhelmed and all that. But at least if you make your mind up to be able to pay your university fee, like for first year fee from back home, then even if you, when you come here, you get job, you are able to earn that much of money, that's fine, perfect, isn't it? But you think that you'll pay first semester from your, like from back home, and then you come here and then you don't get any job, and like that will give you a big shock, and then like it will make you feel more pressurized, stressed and all that. So please plan to pay your first year fee from back home, and then that will give you some space to think about, I don't know, whatever. But that's what I think makes sense to do at this moment. And the other thing is, obviously I'm not married, I'm single. So I know if you are from Nepal, many of you have heard, like, whenever you think of like, oh, whenever you say like I want to go to Australia, everyone goes like saying, oh yeah, you should get married, and like two of you can go on money, blah blah blah. One can be dependent, get full time work permit and all that, which is true. But what can you do? You're not married, you don't have a girlfriend. What you can do? You can't just go and get a girlfriend or get married to bring someone to Australia just because you want them to work and earn for yourself. No, that's a stupid thing to do. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are single here, it's kind of like the life gets harder in compared to if you have your partner here, because if you're doing masters here, I think I'm pretty much sure that your partner, if you are a student, your partner gets full-time work permit. Yeah, full-time work permit, so that she or he can work full-time, and then it's a bit easier when you have got full-time work permit to get work as well. I will talk about that later. So that makes it easier. But for me, like, I'm single, so I need to focus on the study, do the assignments, and then still try to find some part-time works and all that. So the life's gonna get pretty busy and hectic. So that's one part. Like, and on top of that, I guess if you're thinking of studying Master of Social Work in Australia, then you know that you'll have to do field placements. Um, so it's 1,000 hours of placements in 2 years. So normally you'll have to go for placement in second semester and then the fourth semester. Yeah, 500 per semester. So what happens at the time is, you get placed in an organization. You'll be working 9 to 5, 5 days a week. So that means the only time, even if you want to work, the only time you can work is either in the evenings or on the weekends. So that 3 months, like 500 hours is kind of like 3 months. So that 3 months, do not expect to like work a lot, because again, you have to go back tomorrow to the office and work, isn't it? Otherwise, if you fail your placement, you're not going to get a degree. So that's another aspect you have to think about it. So like before coming to Australia, like my plan to come and study in Australia was like from since like 3-4 years back. But the only one thing that held me back was like, oh my god, I'm single, and like, I mean, go there 3 months per year means like almost 6 months a semester. I'll not be able to work. So can I sustain um, my studies and all? But I was just holding myself back, and I was like, at this moment I was like, you know what, I'll just go and do it. So I decided I'll do it. So I'm here, and I guess whether I find it difficult, obviously it's difficult, but I want to do it. So that's what I chose. It's an informed decision that I made. So it's up to you. It's gonna be difficult, but on the other hand, I know not everyone is like well off, and not everyone has the same amount of money, financial strength, and all that. But if you have, then also, like, what I'm saying in a positive way is like for example, for my fee, it's 64,000 for 2 years. Like, what is that, like 50 lakhs or 55 lakhs in Nepal? So if you, like for example, even if you want to get that money from Nepal, like in 2 years, and then just work here part time, and also, like, on that note, like, working here part time will easily maintain your living cost. Like, even if you work, like, let's say 15 days a month, half a month, you will easily make like 6 to 700, 800 rupees, not rupees, dollars, Australian dollars, which will be able for you to pay for your rent and like the travel and food and all. So, like, if you have a good strong financial strength, then what you can do is like get the loan approved for both the years, pay from Nepal 50 lakhs in 2 years, and then after that you get like 2 years of working visa or whatever they call it, like temporary, or I don't know the name of the visa, but in that time, in that amount, you can earn money and then send it back home. Or it depends on what's your aim is in coming to Australia, whether it's for, like, if you want to be a social worker here, if you just want to like study social work and get the PR, because social work is in one of the SOL list, yeah, skill something list. I'm not worried much about those PRs and all that. That's why I can't give you the information on that one. But social work is a subject in demand. So I think I heard that even 65 points will get you, at least you can apply for the PR. So I think that's the lowest point. For others, accounting and all that, now it's increased to like 85 and also. But yeah, PR aside. So depending on what you want to do, like, that is one option. Like, if you are financially strong back home, then that is what you can do, and it's doable. It's not like you can't do it. But obviously, as much as possible, I'm sure you want to come here on money, pay for the fees from the money that you have earned here, and then if possible you want to save some money, send it back home. Of course, everyone wants to do that, but life is hard. Life is hard. uh, that's about that. uh, on that topic also, like, what I'll do in upcoming weeks is, so I've got a friend, if you saw my charity event vlog, then Subes, who I studied social work with in Nepal, is doing his masters of social work here at Federation University Ballarat campus. So I will also request him to share his experience with Ballarat, and I've got friends who are studying in Ballarat Berwick campus as well. And I've got one of my friend Kanchan, who is a senior in Monash. So, well, they don't know that I'm gonna request them that, but when they see this video, they will. So hopefully, if they can share their experience, like how it has been for them, their learning experience and all, so that would be good. So you'll get more information from different people as well, not just me and my one single perspective. Um, So what else? Yeah, one thing I realized, but yeah, one thing people like us who have studied in Nepal, what they might struggle when they are in Australia is the assignments. We're used to that, like 1 year of or a semester of study, and then like last 2 days of like going through all the textbook, like mug. That's what you call, right? Mugging up, like Gokun, like, yeah, once I forgot. Yeah, like, just go through the study, and then in 1 month or 3 days, 4 days, and you just pass it. But here it's more like assignment based. Like, for example, in my first semester, there was only one written exam for like 3 units. uh, Not for 3 units, one exam for 1 unit, but other unit were like whole assignment, and there was more assignment. Yeah, and that was also like objective questions and all. So assignment is something you need a good writing skills. Like I've seen a lot of my friends and people who I know struggle with assignments because you have to put references, you have to read books and all that. So you'll have a hard time if you're not used to it, at least for the first semester or for a few assignments, and then you'll get used to it. But when the deadline comes, I guess if you have friends in Australia, you might have seen their uh, pictures, like posts on Facebook and status is like, oh my god, I'm dying with this assignment, whatever. So you can imagine how difficult it gets when you have got assignments, when you have got work to do tomorrow, yeah, all this stuff. So if you are planning, start looking at how to write essays and academic essays and all that. That would help you. So what else? I don't know. I just want to add something with the assignment. Like for my first assignment here, there's something called rubric here. Like you have got this matrix where you are given that rubric, and it all says like, if you do this, you get high definition. Not definition, sorry, distinction. If you do this much, you get distinction. If you do this much, you pass. You get credit. If you do this much, you pass. If you do this much, you fail. So you have got what you need to do. For my first assignment, I started looking at it first part, and then I was writing it for the first question, and then I forgot about it totally because I'm not used to the rubric and all that. So I submitted my assignment, and then I got the feedback from my lecturer, and he gave like they give feedback in the rubric. So like they would be like ticking off the checklist, like you have done this, you have done this, you have not done this, and all that. So they are justifying how they have marked and all. And then I realized that, oh my god, I forgot to look at the rubric while doing the assignment. Just like, for example, the rubric said give 3 examples, where I had only given one example, and I'm like, if I would have looked at the rubric, then I would have easily done that, easily given 3 examples. So that's simple mistake. So rubric is something that you have to get used to, and then it's easy. It's a guideline. So you just look at it and do it, and do the assignment according to it, and then you can be like the lecturer also marks based on that. So even if you're not satisfied, you can look at it and I'm like, yeah, I've done this 3 examples, you have missed this, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. uh, and also like Monash is is a good university, is a big university. So and they so that's what I meant, like what's your intention to come and study here. Like if you just want to like complete the degree just because you want to get PR, you don't want to be a good social worker, whatever, then you should select the university accordingly. Like where, because why to invest a huge amount of money when you don't want to take that the course or degree for a career, isn't it? But saying that, please, I'm not saying that like अरू युनिभर्सिटीमा पढ्नेहरू चाहिँ राम्रो पढ्दैन त्यस्तो भन्नु खोजेको होइन. It's not like that. But based on your intention, like what do you want to do in future, choose the universities होइन. लाइक होइन झाराटारा गरेर म पास हुन्छु, डिग्री मात्र लिन्छु, पिआर मात्र लिने हो भने वर्थ छैन एक्सपेन्सिभ युनिभर्सिटी जानु. चिपर युनिभर्सिटी जाने, फ्लेक्सिबल युनिभर्सिटिजहरू जाने होइन. अनि that will make your life easier. And yeah, but even if you go to like cheaper universities doesn't necessarily mean they're like bad or whatever. Like they can be as good as the expensive universities. And what you do is like uh, either you pass out from Monash, or either you pass out from Melbourne University, or like Federation University, or La Trobe University. In social work, the one organization that you'll have to register yourself is with AASW. And once you are registered there, you are a registered social worker. So it doesn't matter if you are from which university, whatever university you passed out from. So it doesn't matter at the end. But it's just like the better university you go to, they will give you hard time with assignments, and like they will be very strict with the placements and all that. But I guess you will come out as a good social worker. But again, please guys, don't get offended if you're studying in any other universities. I'm just saying it out there. I'm not saying like they are the bad ones or whatever. Like as I said, cheaper universities could also be the best universities or better universities than the expensive universities. So check out the website, check out the curriculum, talk to people who are already here. If you have got friends and all, so that's the right way to do it. And is there anything else I'm missing? I can't think of anything, but as I said earlier, I'll also try to not. I don't want to use the word interview, but I'll request my friends to share their experience studying in other universities and Monas as well, so that they can share their experience. Um, yeah, and oh, okay, work-wise, I think I said I will talk that out. Also, yeah, like whenever I talk about work-wise, like I keep going back to that Facebook page we have got, Journey to Australia visa, whatever. I thought like I didn't like commenting and all in that page group, because like I thought that page was for people to help, seek help, like give comments, feedbacks, share informations and all that. But what I see that page now is like I think people get scared to even ask a question, because there's like one question, but there's like hundred of group members making fun out of it and all. So please don't do that. Please don't do that. People are asking genuine questions and all that. And it's my request now. Don't start commenting on this video saying stupid things. It's my humble request. People, because of that one funny comment, like people will hold back. They will start holding up back their questions and all that. They will not feel comfortable to come ahead and ask questions. So please do not do that. And other thing, like whenever there's like, I just recently saw a post today, is like, oh, I got a visa, so is there anything that I can learn uh, to go to Australia, blah blah, and then the comment was like, गएर भाँडा मान्न थाल घरमा हैन. It's funny, and I always laugh at it, but guys, once or twice is funny, like not every time, like Australia is not about bhanda majni and all that, like. And again, on that part, I'm coming up with a series of interviews with successful people in Melbourne, because I'm in Melbourne. Uh, but when I say successful, obviously the definition is vague. I don't know what successful for you is. For that person is, someone might say that they have got a good job, a nice place to stay. That might be a successful life for them. Some might want a Mercedes Benz and like, I don't like 5 houses. That might be successful. But what I'm trying to do is promote that success stories, like how people started, how where they are at, and so that, because like यतिसम्म मजाक उडाइसक्यो कि अब अस्ट्रेलिया हेज बिन लाइक synonym of like भाँडा माझ्ने होइन. But guys, that's not true. Some people might start with that one, but they make their own way up होइन. अब कहाँसम्म भन्दाखेरि, फर इक्जाम्पल अहिले चाहिँ मेरो घरमा एकजना छेउमा दाई हुनुहुन्छ, इज अ भिक्टोरियन पुलिस अफिसर होइन. अब हिजो भर्खरै म एउटा दाईसँग भेटेर आएँ त्यही भिडियोको सिलसिलामा. हि रन्स अ क्यान्टिन हियर, हि इज अ ओनर होइन. अब कतिजना दाईहरू कन्सल्टेन्सी चलाएर बस्नुभएको छ, आइटी सेक्टरमा हुनुहुन्छ, दे आर एभ्रिवेयर. लाइक भर्खरै हामीसँग फुटबल खेल्ने एकजना साथी हुनुहुन्छ, हि इज इन द रियल इस्टेट बिजनेस होइन. लाइक इट्स डोन्ट थिङ्क लाइक यहाँ आउनु के हुन्छ. On that part, just saying that I'll be publishing success stories and also interviewing the social worker students as well. But coming back to the job part, guys, भाँडा मान्ने कुरा is reality in the sense that कतिजनाले गर्नुहुन्छ, गर्छौँ हामीले पनि होइन. it's not a big deal, but you make your own way. But त्यो कुरा त सबैले डिस्कस गरेर सबैले उडाइसक्यो, so I don't want to say that. But other than that, like for example, क्लिनिङमा टन्न काम हुन्छ होइन. Like you can also learn barista, like coffee making and all that. So it's always that job is always like in demand. Ani like also it depends on what experience you have got like back home. Like I know भर्खरै +2 सकेर आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ and you might not have that experience, but try to go and volunteer with organizations that work with international people. I'm not saying don't go with the people with national volunteers as well, but just because like you have to have that practice of English speaking, isn't it? Even though we say that like, oh, we come from English speaking background school or whatever, we don't actually use that. That's a fact. So even like start practicing English. I know like I'm not criticizing, but I know like people get like 7 in IELTS and all that, but when they come here, like it's hard for them to understand English because it's a slang and all that. So keep even like get better at English. It's not just about writing; it's about listening, communicating. Like when someone comes to you and says what's up, you need to be able to say, yeah man, what's up. Like just an example of like not feeling that awkwardness while speaking English. Get used to it, that's what I'm saying. If you have a good communication skills, PR skills, then you'll have more chances. Like for example, I'm working as a receptionist in one of the motel here. um, at first I saw the advertisement and I phoned the guy and he was like, do you know how to use the software for the hospitality management service or whatever? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know that. And he was like, no, I want someone who knows it. And I was like, okay, thank you. And 4 days afterwards I see the same advertisement again coming up, and I again call that guy and I told him like, so you have got this ad again, so that means that you have not got your right candidate. Yeah, and he's like, yeah. So I said like, okay, if you have not got the right candidate, if you want to teach me, then I am a good learner. And I started explaining him like how I edit photos, I make videos, I'm good with computers. And it was like 10-15 minutes of me like saying, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, trust me, trust me, trust me. And he was like, okay, come over and we'll have a chat. I went there, I sat in his computer and I showed him blah blah blah. I was like, this is what you need to do to improve your, because I did my study in terms of like, I researched his motel, and then like what's happening, what were the feedbacks given to his motel, like what is that, trip planner or something like that, like how guests comment that. And I was like, see, this is the feedbacks you have been getting, so you can do this to change this, blah blah blah, like just to make that like impression of like I'm ready to do it. And then he gave me the job like without knowing the software. So he taught me for one day, and then next day onwards like I was there in the job. So that just an example of the commitment, uh, the communication that you make. So yeah, those are some of the jobs that you can do. And then a lot of people also work in housekeeping, and they made the way to like the leader, housekeeping managers. Yeah. So yeah, these are the casual jobs, but obviously these are like the casual jobs, but obviously there are people like, for example, I know a guy who is studying IT, and he designs pages, and he's also working for eBay, like a small company of small small, I don't know what to say, in eBay. So yeah, there are jobs. It's not like there aren't jobs, but it's about like how we take it. Like sometimes we want like easy one is like we don't have that energy to like apply, write CVs, like change the CVs according to your job, write like motivational letter, cover letter, and apply. Like we need to give that energy. And then there is possibility and there is way. Like for example, uh, I I went for an interview today, like one of the educational consultancy here, and they were impressed. They were like, yeah, blah blah blah, but I didn't like, I was not happy with what they want to pay me, and I said, and I'm like, most probably I'll not do the job, and I'll continue what I'm doing now, because it's all about uh, getting yourself some like enough money to sustain here and all that. uh, but once I finish my first year, then I'll start looking into some kind of like professional job, so that when I start complete my study, it's easier for me to get the social worker job, or at least in the same sector, a non-profit sector. So there are options. And again, um, I think come with good attitude. uh, with attitude, one thing I want to add is like, when you come here, uh, once you arrive to Australia, like listen to what people say, but take your own decision, of course. And go out there, like visit places. I know I've seen a lot of examples where people just went door to door, and then they got good jobs like that pays them well. uh, so yeah, come with good attitude. If you have any skills, like if you have volunteered previously, that gives you plus point. If you have worked in retail stores, for example, like Batini, and anywhere, like just make some documents for it, recommendation letter or whatever. uh, yeah, and then like for example, even like you can Google like CV, Australian CV. There's different ways the Australians use their CVs. Not it's not similar to what Nepal. So like sometime you'll not be asked, called for a job because your CV is not an Australian CV. You know what I mean? Like People, your CV should look charming, isn't it? Like if you're not writing Australian CV, so while you are submitting your CV in Australian company or a company or a shop, whatever in Australia, then they will not call you. So those are the simple things. Maybe I can make another video, like asking people how they got job. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But yeah, those are the things that you can do, guys. Please uh, ask more questions if you want to. Comment below. And also, I am aware and I accept and I acknowledge if there is any different ideas that people would write. uh, like I have said so many things that people might disagree with, but guys, yep, feel free to disagree with it. That's what I thought. uh, that's my feeling, my perspectives. I might be wrong, you might be right, or you might be wrong, I might be right, whatever it is. But my sole aim and purpose of this video is to give some idea of being in Australia, studying social work, and the holistic part of like study work, be applying the visa and all that kind of stuff. So I might not have been able to give all the informations, but yeah, just comment below, ask questions, and maybe your questions can be like specific to any colleges. I don't know if I'll find someone to do that, but obviously with Federation University and Ballarat campus and Berwick campus, I've got friends. Monas, I'm there, but if you but I'll talk to Concern, that I've said before, that he's senior to me, so he has that extra 1 year of experience at Monas than me, compared to me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this, and I literally forgot what I talked about at the beginning, so I hope I have said all the right things and important and necessary things. So thank you for watching this. I hope you got some knowledge and information out of this video, and I appreciate you watching this. And if you are in Melbourne studying social work, uh, connect me in Facebook. Just comment below if you want to be friends in Facebook, and I can give you the Facebook account, and you can ask any information. I feel free to, like, if you already know me in Facebook, feel free to send me a message. I don't get bored. I get questions, and well, even if you post in journey to Australia visa, I sometimes like. I don't like to comment in that page, just because what I have said earlier. Like I PM them saying you can just ask me what you want to and all that. So I'm always ready to help. So yeah, please feel free to do that, and thank you so much for watching. Obviously guys, keep watching, subscribe, like, share, whatever you want to do. Just because if you are interested in Australia or social work, I've got more videos coming. Thank you so much, lovely, and yeah, great day, isn't it? Okay guys, see ya, bye bye.